I mean, basically, it's a lot of ways you could look at it. Because they have a million and one definitions in today's time and age in regards to what a man and a woman is. Um, you know, a woman has two X chromosomes, and a man has basically an X and a Y chromosome that defines males. So the reality is that the makeup is different. You know, the biological makeup is different, and that's what makes a woman and a man a man. Just simply the double think backwards society we live in today has made exceptions for people to basically do as they please in terms of they've taken freedom of choice or voice to a whole nother level. The new theory of gender fluidity, embraced by the left, holds that people born as biological males can choose to be considered female. So basically, it's not that you are a female, it's that you're making a choice to want to be something that you are not. The sex of an organism that produces the large non motile oval, which is egg cells, um, is basically what differentiates the female from the male. Um, the type of gamete sex cell that fuses with the male gamete during sexual reproduction. A female has larger gametes than a male, which basically is stating that the male cannot produce children because their gametes are smaller. They do not uh, produce egg cells in regards to making children, reproducing children, being able to have the possibility to reproduce children. Sure, can you replicate it falsely? Insemination, whatever it is. Sure, they do experiments all the time. That's not natural. That's not natural reproductive birth. That's altered. You know, experimented on. It's not natural conception. So what's not natural was not meant to be in regards to human life. Anything else other than natural reproduction and conception to me is an experiment, or is basically trying to play God, trying to play Mother Nature. Um, you know, it's funny because they have all these. It's just too much to go over. They have all these different definitions of what is gender, what is a woman, what is a female, what makes a female, what's the perfect female body, what's the perfect weight, height, skin complexion. I mean, it goes on and on. It's really kind of ridiculous because um, man is man and woman is woman based on birth assignment. You're assigned a gender when you're conceived in the womb during conception when the sperm fertilizes the egg, and assignment is given, chosen, assigned as a fetus before you're even conceived into actually before you're even conceived into the fetus. It's in the very beginning um, of the cycle of reproduction. So what I'm confused about here is what's so hard to say, hey, I'm a woman because I have female genitalia and I have the capability of producing a child through childbirth because I carry the egg to fertilize and create a baby. How do you fertilize the egg? Well, you need a second partner, which is a male. So if a male says, "Hey, I'm not a male, I'm a female," then how do you have reproduction? How does one species continue? So that's why I said that it's kind of confusing, or to me, the choice is the misconception. Saying that there's a choice is really just an illusion, because the only reason that I feel they want to give you a choice is to give you an opportunity to help them with their main agenda, their main plan. Scale back population control. If you have less men, then you have less of a reproductive cycle overall, because less men are fertilizing the egg to make more children. It's kind of common sense if you ask me. If you make all the men sterile, where men aren't fertile, and due to drugs and trial and error of vaccines or different types of drugs, you make women sterile, then that would scale back the population. That would ultimately leave less men and women with the capability of reproduction. So, I mean, it's kind of like I say, it's a real touchy subject, in regards to the world of today. It's a real simple subject in terms of Mother Nature, um, or the laws of biological DNA. Um, you know, the fact that it all comes to fruition is by a divine intervention. In my book, that's my opinion. You can look at it as a scientist and say, no, it has nothing to do with any divine intervention. It's strictly science. Well, I say it's science, but then, my take on it, where that divine intervention comes in, is the selection of assignment, you know, meaning um, when one is born a male or when one is born a female. So I feel that there's some divine intervention in the process, and that there's some spirituality to it all. That's, like I said, it's just my belief. Everybody believes different. But I do know that once the process is complete and baby is born, the baby is born assigned genitalia. So, sure, there's incidences where they're born with both chromosomes, or born with what's called a deformity, and they have two different reproductive organs. You know, uh, it's just sometimes there's I don't want to say freak of nature. I just want to say sometimes there's disabilities or deformities that sometimes occur. And, you can say it was because of health. You can say it was because of a certain situation or circumstance. Or you can say that it was coincidence. You can call it what you want, but sometimes these things occur. Um, Reality, it still takes us full circle back to the issue on hand, which would be, you know, don't deny your birthright. That's all it is. If you were born a man, then you're a man. If you were born a woman, then you're a woman. If you want to be something that you're not, or choose to be something else, to each their own, like I keep saying. But if that's your choice, let that choice be known, and be keep it real. Be real with yourself. Be honest with others as you want them to be honest with you. You know, yeah, Leo Nelson is honest and saying, "Hey, I'm a man, but I want to be a woman." Okay, all right, but it's not fair, or I should say, it's dishonest for the systems that be to pretend that he's a woman. Um, and allow him to participate in women's sports against women, because it's unfair. Um, I also feel that those who choose to be something that they're not in the world today should acknowledge that fact, because there's a lot of women and a lot of men running around, either well, they're transformers basically, because there's no real way for you to know that a man is a man or a woman is a woman unless they let that be known. So if a man has a alteration to his gender or to his physicalities and runs around parading as a woman, picking up men, and men are unaware of that fact, that's a crime. You know, like I said before, if you want to take it to a whole nother level of the game, anyone who decides that they want to be cis, trans, uh, or transformed from one gender to a next should have to register just like sex offenders. You know, should have to register so that it's known instead of having to guess. Therefore, then I feel that it's honest, truthful, and fair, and there's no issue there. The issue is when you allow it to be a double standard, when you allow the person to, um, do something that crosses the line in terms, yeah, if you want to be cisgender, cross gender, a transformer, sure, no problem. Leo Nelson, I don't even know. I just know he's a man and he wants to be a woman. And so if that's what it is, that's fine. But he should not be allowed to participate with the women in women's sports because he's not born a woman. I don't care how many hormones he takes. He was 462 in the competition with men, and he's now number one in women. And he's purposely holding back his abilities as a man, which is clearly stated and shown in recent events, to lose the race instead of win the race because of the fact that he's a man and the competition is unfair. The opponent is not the same. So, a lot of people probably give me shit about this one, and just like they did about the first one. But, if they speak on it, then I'm going to talk on it. I mean, it's in your face every day for everybody to see. And the people out there who think that there's some type of normalcy in this are just as confused as the next, I would say. That's just my opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean you are, but that's my opinion. Um, you know, because the reality is that um, if you're a woman, you're born a woman. If you're a man, you're born a man. So stay in your lane, And if you choose to change lanes, let it be known, you know. Don't hide in the dark and pretend you're something that you're not. And then the truth comes out and it becomes an issue, or it could be controversy, or possibly could mean the difference between life and death, for one individual or the next, you know. Um, some people are not okay with the fact that you're parading around as a woman and you were once a man, and might decide to do bodily harm to you because of that fact after discovering the truth. Just the same, some people aren't um, motivated in that light, but are also not as strong, and um, upon finding out the information that was hidden from them, um, might do bodily harm to themselves, meaning through confusion, humiliation, and disgust, or you know, feeling some type of way, they might commit suicide over the fact. Who knows? It's all type of things that people go through, or choices that they make that are not sound when under pressure, under emotional pressure, under circumstance and situation. So, like I said, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Be good to yourself and be good to others. Be honest. Tell the truth at all times. Like I said, we all lie. I lie. Everybody lies. But do your best to tell the truth. And, try and tell the truth to those when you have wronged them or lied. Um, you know, it's the best way to live your life. And you'll find that you'll get a lot further in life when you're living, life righteously. Um, I'm no saint. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time, sometimes daily. Um, but I do not lie anymore in regards to I make a conscious choice to tell the truth about everything that I'm doing in my life today. So, it helps to make a more healthy and basically happy life. It really does. So, and then you can go to bed at night too. You know what I mean? You ain't got to toss and turn or be worrying about the next lie to tell. You can just stand on what's true because it is the truth.